They say rejection hurts, but sometimes it's just life's way of preparing us for something much bigger. This is the story of a little girl named Lila, who dared to dream beyond what others thought was possible. Lila was 12 years old, bright-eyed, full of curiosity, and completely obsessed with making things fly. Paper planes, kites, cardboard gliders. If it could catch the wind, she'd make it. Every day after school, she'd rush to the park, arms full of folded papers, and launch them into the sky. Her dream? To create a paper wing that could glide longer and smoother than any other, something truly unique that could even win the National Science Fair. Her friends didn't share her excitement. "Paper can't really fly," one said. "Why not build a robot instead?" another teased. But Lila just smiled. Deep down, she believed that even something as fragile as paper could reach great heights if she learned how to fold it the right way. And so, every evening she experimented cutting, folding, adjusting angles, and studying how air moved around her designs. Finally, after weeks of effort, she built her first masterpiece, Paper Wing 1. It looked perfect, and she couldn't wait to show it at her school's science exhibition. The big day arrived. Lila stood in front of the judges, classmates, and teachers. Her heart was pounding, but she took a deep breath and released her paper wing into the air. For a moment, it glided beautifully, then suddenly dipped, flipped, and crashed right onto the floor. The room went silent. Someone in the crowd whispered, "Guess dreams don't always fly." The judges smiled politely and moved on. Her teacher gave her a sympathetic pat on the shoulder, but Lila could feel her heart breaking. All those days of work gone in a few seconds. That night, she sat quietly by her window, holding the crumpled paper wing. Tears rolled down her cheeks. For the first time, she wondered if her friends had been right. Maybe paper really couldn't fly. Just then, her mom walked in, sat beside her, and said softly, "You know, every bird falls before it learns to soar." Those words hit differently. Lila looked at her mom, then back at the paper, and something inside her clicked. She wasn't done yet. The next morning, she got up early and began working again. She read books about aerodynamics, watched videos on flight balance, and studied how real wings were shaped. Her room became a tiny workshop full of scraps, glue, rulers, and endless pieces of folded paper. Each attempt flew a little farther than the last. She failed dozens of times, but every failure taught her something new. Instead of being afraid of rejection, she started to learn from it. Slowly, her friends noticed her dedication. They stopped laughing and began helping her, testing designs, timing flights, and cheering her on whenever a model stayed up even a few seconds longer. Months passed, and one evening, after what felt like her 100th try, Lila launched her newest design, Paper Wing 5, into the park sky. To her surprise, it didn't just float, it soared. It glided gracefully across the park, catching the wind perfectly, before landing softly in the grass. Lila couldn't believe her eyes. It worked. Her paper wing was flying, really flying. Tears of joy filled her eyes. She knew this was her moment to try again. The next year, when the National Science Fair returned, Lila was ready. Standing on the same stage where she once failed, she held her new model proudly. The hall was full again, same judges, same classmates, same nervous heartbeat. But this time, she wasn't scared. She took a deep breath, smiled, and threw her paper wing. The audience watched in awe as it glided across the entire room, circling gracefully before landing gently on the other side. Gasps filled the hall, then came cheers. The judges stood up, clapping. She did it. She had turned her rejection into success. When Lila received her first-place trophy, she held it up with a proud smile. But what truly mattered wasn't the prize, it was the lesson. Later, during her speech, she said something that everyone remembered. "When my paper wings fell, I thought it meant I failed. But I realized something. Failure isn't falling down, it's staying down. Every no I got just pushed me closer to my yes." The audience erupted in applause. Lila's story spread through her school. Younger kids started calling her the girl who made paper fly. Teachers began telling her story to inspire other students who felt discouraged after rejection. And every time someone failed, they'd remember her line, "Maybe you're not failing, you're just learning how to fly." Years later, Lila grew up to become an aerospace engineer. But she still kept one thing on her desk, the original crumpled paper wing one, the one that crashed. She kept it as a reminder that success isn't about never falling, it's about never stopping. She often said to young dreamers, "Don't be scared of rejection. Let it guide you, let it shape you, because every failure you face today is helping you build your wings for tomorrow." So, the next time someone tells you that your dream is too big or that it will never work, remember Lila. Remember that even paper fragile, light, and easily torn can learn to fly when it's folded with care and persistence. All you need is a little patience, a lot of courage, and the belief that one day you'll soar higher than anyone ever expected. Because success isn't found after rejection, it's built through it.